Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
And in time this too shall pass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Geri Petito taught the class.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Loves the answer, the greener grass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is really true, is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
And in time this too shall pass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Geri Petito taught the class.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Loves the answer, the greener grass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show on Hamilton Radio, guys. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass because, guys, 30 years ago, I was a dumbass. But through the grace of God, today, 30 years later, I'm a smartass. Guys, this book can help save lives. That was my intention when I wrote it. I wrote it in 2016, and guys, through everything that's gone on since I wrote this book, I've revised it. Look at that. So first and foremost, what everybody out there needs to know is everybody's had a really tough couple of years. And everyone out there needs to know someone is listening. They can have someone to talk to. I am just a phone call away. Reach out to me, guys, okay? You don't have to be alone. All my services to you are free. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. So please know that you are not alone. Please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel, okay? And like and share it, guys. And please, when we're done with this incredible interview, please share this one. Having said that, I have an incredible returning guest, okay, who I absolutely love and grew up with. Childhood friend. We haven't seen each other, gosh, in over 50 years, and we reconnected about 5 years ago. So, Nikki Rotondo, say hello to everyone.
Hello, world. How you doing, Geri? I love you, and I'm honored. I'm honored to be on your show again. I just love spending time. Look, we're not supposed to say 50 years, Geri, because we're only 35.
Oh, okay. All right. I forgot. Okay. So I love you too. Everybody, let's welcome Nick the Balloonatic.
Thank you.
So tell everyone about that title. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your books, everything. Let's hear it.
Well, Geri, I'm Nick the Balloonatic. I am a professional balloon artist, although my parents think I'm a doctor. Why do they think I'm a doctor? They spent a lot on an education. And my father, you remember my father with that heavy Italian accent. Where you going to go in life making balloons? Where you going to go? I said, Dad, one day, Dad, I promise you. I swear to you, Dad, I'm going to hit the big time. I'm going to make the big time. I'm going to make it all the way on the Geri Petito Show. And look at this. I'm here. I hit the big time. But I am a professional balloon artist. I do shows all over in Las Vegas, and I travel all over. As a matter of fact, tomorrow night I'm doing a big show at the Island Park Library. And I just, Geri, I love making people happy, especially during these very, very tough times. I love making people happy, and that's what I think God put me on this earth for.
Well, I'm sharing it professionally now for you, so you'll have it now, okay? That's what I just did, so it's great. We have to share a little bit about our background with everyone, okay? Because you know how I feel about that. So I think I got in touch with you. I think I reached out to you on Facebook through the Long Island City group, maybe?
Exactly. You found me through the Long Island City group, and you said, oh, I want to have this guy on my show.
This guy.
And then we started talking, and we have a history. We actually have a history. It's amazing. Geri and I both lived at 1022 47th Road, which Jerry's mom and dad owned the building. We lived on the ground floor. Jerry, you guys lived upstairs.
In the middle.
And talking and realizing Geri Petito, wait, from Long Island City talking. And then I said, is your father's name Jerry? And your mom? And it turns out that your parents were my brother Anthony's godparents. And it was so amazing. And when Geri, I have to tell you, when you first reached out and realizing who you were and that we have this bond and this Long Island City to go back to, and I called my mom.
Yes.
I said, Mom, you're not going to believe this. I'm going to be on the Geri Petito show. And she said, Jerry's got a show? And I said, yeah. She says, he's got to be 100 years. I says, Mom, the daughter. She said, that's Nick. What is wrong with you? That's not Jerry. That's Geraldine. And I said, no, but it's Jerry. It's the Jerry. No. And she reprimanded me for calling. And then she told me, oh, she was so beautiful. And I said, Ma, she's still beautiful. And I used to comb her hair because when her mom did her hair, she used to cry.
Yes.
Her mom did it so rough. And she said she used to come down and say, can you do my hair? And she used to say she had the most beautiful hair. And I used to comb my hair not to make her cry. And she was so beautiful. And I said, Ma, 50 years later, she's still beautiful.
Oh. And your mom, so we can make everybody laugh with this. So my brother is only a year and a half older than you and I. So we were little kids because I moved out of Long Island City when I was 11. My brother was 12.
Right.
So, but you moved out when you were even younger.
Even younger, but we just moved. We lived on 47th Road, which was also known as 7th Street.
Yes.
Why? I couldn't tell you. Was also known as 7th
Yes.
Street. And then my father, God rest his soul, was working for an elevator company, and he was the bigwig there, you know, taking care of the building. So the owner of the elevator company had a building right next door. So he told my father, move there. This way it's much easier. That was 51st Avenue, which we do as 3rd Street.
Right.
How they got these streets, I still
Crazy.
don't know. And we moved over there. But, you know, Long Island City, anywhere from 3rd Street to 12th Street Park.
Oh, right. We were all right.
Everybody, we all knew each other. We just all knew each other.
But my
and it was
brother,
amazing.
I'm going to make them laugh. You know the story. So I called my brother immediately. You will not believe this. Guess who I talked to? Do you remember him? And he's like, remember him? I remember his hot mom, the Spanish lady that lived downstairs. And he was a kid. He was a kid. So everyone remembered your hot mom. That's great.
My hot mom. Yeah. Hey, listen, 85
still
and
hot.
she's still hot.
Yes.
If I take her out to dinner, I have to tell her because she wears these low-cut shirts like this. And I'm like, Mom, can you close up a little? She
That's
tells
so
me I'm still
great.
sexy. I'm not closing nothing.
That's so great. But you have an incredible career. I mean, tell everybody like where you've been featured.
Wow. I've been featured on Rachel Ray's show,
Yeah.
the Meredith Vieira show. I was on Howard Stern. I was on the Boomer and Carton show. I was on now the Carton and Roberts show just recently. But I was on the Geri Petito show, which I love.
Wow.
I've been featured on a lot of shows, and I love what I do. I've been featured in the New York Times,
Yep.
Daily News on 9/11 recently.
Yeah.
This past 9/11 for the 20th anniversary, a whole page. I got a whole
All right, but
page.
let's wait. Stop there for a minute because we're not going to let that go.
Yeah.
You're a hero, and you are. Tell everyone how you were used. I'm going to say by God because God put you there. So tell everyone about that day and why you're a 9/11 responder hero.
On 9/11, I was working on Amsterdam Avenue, the M11 bus, and going up Amsterdam Avenue, and I was training somebody and had a full busload of passengers, and I got to 100th Street in Amsterdam Avenue, and by this time, the first tower was already hit, and on our radio, they had said it was an accident, a commercial jet accident ran into the towers, flew into the towers, and I got to 100th Street, and I had the green light, and I was driving, and this officer comes running out, white shirt, tall, good-looking guy, jumped like in front of the bus with his hands open, and I stopped, pretty short, and I opened the door, and he jumped on, and he screamed, "Everybody off, everybody," and everybody knew already the first plane had hit. Everybody ran off the bus. My student, he said, "Who's that?" I got rid of him. He said, "What's your name?" And I was joking at the time because I didn't know that 9/11 was happening. I was joking, and I said, "I'm Brad Pitt's brother, Armpit." And he looked at me. He said, "Are you a paisano?" And I said, "Yeah, my name's Nick Rotondo." He says to me, "Hey, my name's Vinny Benvenuto." And he's a sergeant with the New York City Police Department. He said, "Did you hear what happened?" And I said, "Yeah, plane hit the towers." He said, "A second plane just hit. We got to get downtown." So I made a right into 100th Street. He said, "You're now working for the New York City Police Department. You are property of mine now." And I got there, and we filled up the bus with policemen. And there's a firehouse right next door to the police station. Got a police escort, brought everybody downtown. And by then, the first tower just came down. So I got as far down Broadway as I could before I couldn't, see anymore with the smoke. Got them off, went back up, got to the precinct. Vinny said, "Go up to Lenox Hill Hospital." I got up to Lenox Hill Hospital. They filled my whole bus with medical supplies and with, there was a nurse, a doctor, and there was some assistant. And I brought them down, came back up to the precinct, brought more cup, and it was wild. And you said, Geri, this was from God. And this is why I believe this is from God. Vinny, who is now one of my best friends,
Right.
20 years later, Vinny is one of my best friends still to this day. And Vinny had told me that he tried to stop the bus in front of me. And I didn't know this. I just read this in the Daily News on 9/11 this year. Vinny had told the guy who interviewed him he tried to stop the bus in front of me, and the guy refused. And he refused. And he said he could have arrested him because when a police officer commandeers a bus, you have to do what they say. And so he got me, and he said it was meant to be. It was just meant to be.
So wait a minute. I'm just curious about that part of it. So
Yeah.
he went in front of the bus, and the bus
Yeah, it stopped. And when he came to the side, he opened the door. The guy and the driver, I don't know who it was.
He did talk to him, and he
Yeah, he
said, "I
talked to
can't
me.
do
He
it."
didn't want like any part of
I
it.
got you now. You now. Okay, so he didn't just jump on and say, "Too bad."
No. He said he could have just told him right there.
Right.
On the law, you're part of the police department now, whether you like it or not. But he let him go, and I was the next.
It was
person.
meant to be. It was meant to be.
That's why I say it was meant to be.
Yes. Wow. So that's amazing, and you're a hero, and
Thank you.
wow.
I
So
don't
that's
consider
beautiful.
myself a hero. I just, I just did what my natural instinct since I'm a kid. I love helping people. I
Right.
just love helping. I still open doors for old people going into stuff. It's just something that I love doing.
All right, but let me ask you this: if the first bus driver said yes, and you read about him, would you consider him a hero? Okay.
You got me.
Okay. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
So now, okay, that was amazing. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. So now, let's talk about your books now. Okay. So you have them with you, don't you?
Yeah, I love collecting balloon books, and it's so funny. I told you this story, Geri, and I'd love to share it with your fans. When I was doing these virtual shows during the pandemic for kids, I have my books in a big pile, like you could see here. I'll just show you some of them, and I'll show you which ones. And one day I'm reading telling the kids about my book collections, and I'm going, "Hey, this is a cool book. It's called Balloon Art. And here's another one. It's Tough to Lose Your Balloon." And this book was written by the famous famous actress Jamie Lee Curtis wrote this book, Where Do Balloons Go? Which is great. Then Sally's Great Balloon Adventures. And what's very funny is my wife's name is Sally. And Balloon Twister Origins. And I'm telling the kids about my book. And then I went, and how about this? This is one of my favorite books. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, if the Board of Ed ever saw the word, ass on one of their things, they would have had me. But this is the book that I have the longest, which is one of the most famous books ever, The Red Balloon. And this book was written in 1956, and it's really a great story. I love collecting. I also have other books like the Turtle.
What about the books you wrote?
Oh, well, I wrote a children's book called I Am a First Responder, and I'm in the process of writing another one. This one I talk about I do talk about 9/11. I just say that my story happened on 9/11. I don't talk anything about the towers because I want the children to. The message was to lend a hand when somebody is in need of a hand, and it's just I was touched, and it really did well, sold well, and I'm happy. So now I'm working on a book now about anti-bullying. So about anti-bullying.
Do you know what the title will be yet?
I was going to call it I Am a Balloonatic and talk about balloons, and that. But then someone said, a teacher I ran into said, why don't you call it I Am Your Friend? So I don't know.
I'm not sure about that. Okay. All right. Hold on. What about I'm Your Friendly Balloonatic?
Look, I got to give you credit now, Jay. I got to give you credit. I have your
friend. I like that.
That's cool.
If it's titled I Am Your Friend, okay, he's our friend. But if it's titled I Am Your Friendly Balloonatic.
I'm writing this right down now. So, Jerry, at 35 years old, you can't remember things like you used to.
Yeah, right? 35. I love it. Me neither. I Am Your Friendly Balloonatic. Yeah.
So, talking about age, it's so funny. The legendary comedian, Pat Cooper.
Okay.
Just dear to us. He's 93, and I just spoke to him, and, FaceTime. I said, Pat, you look good. He goes, I'm 93. I'd rather feel good and look bad.
Aww.
I love that line.
Aww. So what else can we talk about? I want to
Jerry, I've had the most amazing life. I really, really did. 5 years ago, I had quadruple bypass, and I told my kids, if the good Lord wants me, don't you dare cry, because what I did in 55 years at the time, 55 years, people will never live in 2 or 3 lifetimes. Right. I mean, I was a musician, a very successful musician from 1989 to 2004 until I just couldn't take it no more. And I went balloons like heavy, and I'm glad I did, because I never left the stage. Never left the stage. I love entertaining. I love listening to that laugh. During the pandemic, doing these virtual shows, it was so hard because I'm expecting that laugh, and I didn't hear that laugh, So, but looking at their faces on the screen, seeing them go like, because they were all muted, it was great. But I love being on a stage and people watching me, and there's nothing better. When my wife and I, we got an email from somebody in Calgary, and it was a girl that was a fan of mine, and she was visually impaired, and they wanted me to fly to Calgary to meet her and do teach the visually impaired in her class how to twist balloons by feel.
Wait, where's Calgary exactly?
Canada, all the way on the left coast.
Oh, okay,
the
go
left
ahead.
side, Calgary,
Continue.
Alberta. Yeah, and I have to tell you, and my wife will tell you, greatest feeling, it may be the greatest thing ever in my career, to watch this young lady, Olivia, 12 years old, who's 75% visually impaired, twist the balloon by feel. And one kid was 100% blind, and she did it, and she started screaming, "Mommy, Mom, come here. I made a dog. Feel it, feel it." Nothing better. And when I was there, I said to the principal, "How many kids are in the school?" And she said 750.
Oh.
I said, "If it's okay with you, we put them in an auditorium." She said, "No, they'll never fit. How about the gymnasium?" We filled up the gymnasium. Jerry, filled up the gymnasium, and I did a show for the whole school. And it was so amazing. I'm trying to talk to you and pull up a picture. It was one of the greatest things, one of the greatest things ever, Jerry. Look at this. This is in Calgary.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's the crowd in Calgary. And here, I'll pull up. Let's see if she's here. Little Olivia. What a gem. What a gem. Here she is. Here, I gave her my hat at the end of the show. Look at her. I gave her the hat, and they took us up. They took us up into the Banff Mountains. I don't know if you ever heard of the Banff Mountains. There's me and my beautiful wife in the Banff. Oh, got to put the Canada flag there. Hold it. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, and we went up there. It was one of the greatest trips of our lives. We went to Canada, and it was amazing. We got stopped by their customs because we flew from Kennedy to Toronto, and then in Toronto we had to fly to Calgary all the way across. But they said, "Oh, welcome to Canada. What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm going to do a show." I wasn't supposed to say that because they consider that working. So they detained us. And then we had to explain. And then they said, "Where are you working?" I said, "Well, I'm doing a show for like a child that's blind." And they said, "Well," and I went like this, and I didn't have the lady's number in my phone. It was in my suitcase. They had made me go across the airport, get my suitcase, come back while they kept my wife. And I had to give them the information. They kept us a while, and then they finally found out, and they let us go.
So you learned from that, have everything in your phone, have everything in your pocketbook.
And from now on, no matter where you go around the world, you're going for pleasure. And if they see my balloons, I want to make balloons wherever I go. It's for pleasure.
Why didn't they tell you that where you were going? Why didn't they say, "Don't say that"? I know.
I wish they did. They would have said, because it was a little nerve-wracking. And then at the time, my wife had broken, I think, her foot, and she was wearing that cam boot. And we just barely made the plane. We barely made the plane. Yeah.
So I have a couple questions about the balloons, and I've asked you this before, but we have another audience. So
Sure.
I know of course, you have to use special balloons that are able to twist.
Right.
Okay. But how did you, listen, when you came to meet me and we got to spend the day together and you did some balloons for my granddaughter, I mean, I couldn't do it. So how did you learn? Like, first of all, start from there a little bit. Like, first of all, what was your obsession with it, and how did you even learn how to do it and get this good?
Right. Jerry, we were living in Long Island City. I was 7 years old. My gerbil died. My gerbil Gilligan died. And back then, we didn't have a car. And the only pet store, we had no pet store in Long Island City. The only pet store was across the street from Madison Square Garden. And my father said, "Come on, we're going to go get he called it a thing, because coming from Italy, he didn't speak good English. Nicola, come, we're going to go get another thing." And then we took the 7 train to Times Square, and then we took the train one stop to 34th Street Penn Station. We're coming out of the train where the pet store is, like I said, right across the street from the garden. And this is why I said making balloons was a calling. We come out, and there's a priest there.
Okay.
And the priest had a stack of tickets. And he said, "You guys want tickets for the circus?" And my father said, Nicole, you want to go to the circular or you want to go and get a thing? I said, let's go to the circus. And gave us 2 tickets. While we were walking in, there was a clown making balloons. And he showed me how to make a balloon and the feel of the balloon and all that. And, you know, it was not a passion like it is now, but hey, I knew how to make a balloon dog. It was cool, you know? And you saw it, you could make a sword. Everybody loves, the little boys always love a balloon sword. And then, you know, here and there I made, and then I was in a car accident in 94. And I was laid up for a while, and I just applied myself full with the balloons, and I really went to a new level.
Okay, but did you have to read books, or did you just figure out how to make things on your own?
Yeah, you figure it out because, Geri, if you make it's, and I teach the kids today, it's here, I'll give you a for instance, okay? If you don't mind.
Yes.
I'll give you a for instance. Okay?
I want to see it. Yes. Show somebody something.
Now, if you make a dog, you have a head, 2 ears, a neck, 2 legs here, and 2 legs here.
No.
So now you have a dog, right?
Wait. Stop for a second. Wait. There is no way anyone could just say, oh, I'm going to make a dog. No, what you just did was crazy. You had no lessons.
No, just this guy. Just the clown that showed how to make this. And then as you go on, but in 1999, there was a convention, the first balloon convention ever for Twisted in Austin, Texas. And I went saying, I said, wow, there's mental patients all over the world like me. And they were making, and that's, I think in 1999, it really like, boom. People were doing cool stuff, but everybody putting their minds together at the first convention. It was called T-Jam in Austin, Texas. And you met people from around the world. People, this guy, Tom Myers from Texas, who was a balloon artist, put this, he said, how can I put something together in February when it's cold, but it's warm in Texas, and get everybody together? And he tried it, put feelers out there, mailing stuff back then, found out about this, and it's still going today. And in February, the convention's in California, and I can't go because I'm already all booked up. I'm like, yeah, we were supposed to, there was a convention just now last week in Vegas that they asked me to teach at, because they asked me to teach now at these conventions.
That's great.
And we couldn't go. We had to go see our grandkids. But getting back to the balloon, I want to show everybody. Like a dog has a head, ears, a neck, 4 legs, a belly, and a tail. So now,
wait, show it to us. Show it to us. Face it to us now.
like
Yes,
this.
that's so cool.
And here, and if you want, you could take the nose, and I teach the kids. You put it through the ears, and now it looks like a totally different dog.
How do you? All right, whatever.
Okay, so now getting back to the basic balloon dog. As a matter of fact, I did a movie with Jon Stewart. You know Jon Stewart? It's called Twisted, and we did a balloon documentary about the balloon dog. As a matter of fact, Geri, I gotta mail you one.
Mail it.
It's, imagine with Jon Stewart, he narrated it.
And that voice.
Yeah, he narrated it, and it was about the balloon dog. Once you make a balloon dog, you can make anything. So what I love to teach the kids, and the Board of Ed loves this, is I teach mathematics. And I'm going to show you. This is a dog. So head, ears, neck, 4 legs, a belly, and a tail. Let's change the dimensions. Dimensions is mathematics, right? So now I'm teaching mathematics. So the balloon dog, now we're going to change the dimensions. We're going to take the balloon dog's head. Okay, there's the head, just like here. But now we're going to change the dimensions of the neck. and we're going to give it a long neck this time. Our balloon dog's going to have a long neck. So now the balloon dog turns into a giraffe, a simple giraffe. Look,
Get out.
look, simple giraffe.
Get out.
Just by changing the dimension of the neck. Now, Jerry, watch this. Here's the giraffe, right? Just turn it sideways, it becomes a dachshund.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and the kids, now they know how to make a dog and giraffe just by changing the dimensions. So, you know what I teach them? Let's go one step further. And I teach them not to blow it up with the mouth. I'm just doing it here because I don't want to be rude. My pump's down there.
It's fine.
So now, Jerry, let's take the simple balloon dog again. And let's go like this. But let's be silly, children. Let's give it big ears now. The balloon dog, but with big ears. And 4 legs. And it becomes a rabbit. Watch this. Just like this. It is now a rabbit.
Get the heck out of here.
Okay? So the balloon, once you learn the balloon dog, you learn the rabbit, you learn
Giraffe.
this, and the kids, Jerry, because I love to be like really silly. I'll show them. I'll go like this, and I'll break it. So we have a little piece like this, and watch this. I teach them to go just like this, twist it so it looks like a little marshmallow, and now just divide it in half. And people freak out with this. Go like this. And it becomes the earring. Clips right
You
on.
made jewelry for my granddaughter, remember?
Yeah. So I like making
Craziness.
jewelry. I like making life-size butterfly wings.
You made a huge flag, remember? I
Yeah, the
kept
flag
that.
I made last time I was on the show. So you can make,
Gigantic.
and Christmas time, depending on the weather, because if it's too windy, it's very hard. On my front lawn, I always built something. Thanksgiving, I built the 10-foot turkey last year with the moving tail, and I built Santa in a sled, and
I saw it all. I remember.
Yeah. So and it's just an amazing. I always have balloons on me. If we see a kid crying on the street, I don't have to make something big. Make something small. That kid is never gonna forget you.
Right.
Sometimes in the Catholic schools, it's pretty funny. Let me get this here. When I do stuff in the Catholic schools, they don't like weapons. So I got an electric pump to make things faster. They don't like weapons, and you know they say balloonatic. Whatever you do, don't do weapons. So I'll go like this, and they'll go, "We told you no weapons. Why'd you do a sword?" And I go, "No. You have it upside down. I go to church on Sundays."
Oh.
So they think it's a sword.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And when I'm at private parties, I'll build like big swords, and they're balloons. And if kids hit each other, they come apart. So what I teach them to do with the swords, Jerry, is so cool because you always want to keep them happy. I make them a circle with the sword, and it becomes a game. So instead of going like this and hitting,
Right.
they go like this and watch.
Right.
So now the ring. Now watch. And they could pass it to each other, or they could go like this and catch it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I try. A lot of balloon artists say to me, you know, how do you get so much work? Everywhere we see you, they say, make the balloon. You're paid more to entertain than you are to make amazing balloons.
Well, that's why. You're an entertainer.
I could entertain and make decent balloons, and they love you for it. They love you for
Well, you
it.
make incredible balloons. You're not just making decent balloons. You're an incredible entertainer. You were always on the stage. You know how to be an entertainer, and now you incorporate it into making incredible balloons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on.
And I love it. I love that kid. And what I love too is when a parent comes up and says, and I'll say, "Hi, sweetie, what's your name?" I do this very corny thing. Like I'll say, hey, what's your name? Geri. Oh, that's my middle name. And I'll just keep going. And they'll
Yeah.
no matter what, hi, what's your name? Jennifer. Hey, that's my middle name.
Yeah.
And then, hey, what's your name? Kimberly. I know it's your middle name. No, it was my confirmation name. And they don't know. Or I'll say, they'll say, what's your name? Oh, Jennifer. Oh, good. My name's Moana. I've been standing at the edge of the water long as I can remember. And I'll start singing Moana. And they go, and I look at them, but out the side of my eye. Or, oh, what's your name? Elsa? No way. My name's Anna. Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door, and I love.
That's why.
When a parent says to me, she won't talk to you, and I break them, and they start talking to me. Inside it's better than Lotto. It's better. And I love sharing kids' jokes. Oh, Geri, kids' jokes, forget it. Like, why'd the cookie go to the doctor? He was feeling crummy.
That's great.
Or what did the princess say to the photographer? When will my prince come? And where does Arnold Schwarzenegger get his paper towels in the supermarket? I'll be back.
Oh my gosh.
And they look, the parents laugh more than the kids sometimes, but sometimes I want to get to the parent, because who's going to hire you? The parents are going to hire you.
The parents are going to hire you, but it's the kids who want you, man.
Yeah. So it's, you parlay it and you get them both. You want to entertain the adults as well as.
Of course.
I see great balloon artists, and I teach this at conventions. You can't stand there and make a balloon like not interacting with your kid, like. You can't do that. I teach them, even if I get a lot of newbies, and I tell the newbies, let's say your basic balloon dog. When you're making your basic balloon dog, don't just make your dog like this. Move your hands up and down. It makes you look like you're this speedy, fast ballooner. Watch. It's just a basic balloon dog. But by moving your hands up and down, and you put on a show.
You're crazy. But wait, you know what else? You're a magician, because we didn't even realize you got your pump. Who brought it for you? That's great.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that right here.
That's great. So listen, so it's so much more than balloons. So that's why your name is the Balloonatic, because you're not just a balloon artist. You're not.
It's funny. And like, you put the picture up, I think, of me laying down with the balloons.
Yes.
That's my logo. So the kids, they look at the picture and they go, and that picture was taken by the great photographer, Tony Ferrari, who was up on Steinway Street. He took that picture 20-something years ago.
That's so cool.
And it's funny because they go, oh, you still look the same. And it's
Yes.
like, and these balloons are cool. And those balloons were done 20 years ago.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just, it's a beautiful, I've had, Geri, I'm telling you, I've had the greatest life. And I tell you, I was a little sad, like 9/11. And then the greatest thing happened on 9/11. My granddaughter was born on 9/11.
Right.
My granddaughter Charlotte was born on 9/11.
How old is she?
And she's 7 now.
Yeah.
And just, she's my world. And I have 3 granddaughters. They're all like my world. But that pain from 9/11, it lessened it. I'll never forget that. Never forget.
I have to say something. Wait, I have to say something about that. Think about that now, where God's concerned. That's not a coincidence. God did that for you as a huge blessing. He thanked you for what you did. And that was, I'm sorry, but that's
my daughter Jennifer said the same thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah. Because 9/11, I'm a happy person. I tell people 363 days a year I'm a happy person. I get a little sad because my dad died the week before Christmas, and that day and 9/11 are 2 days that really just like really got to me. Really got to me.
So funny. I want to share something because I'm usually a happy person as well, right? And I remember when I had my poker league, Midnight Owl Poker, and I had all these young, I call them, listen, anyway, they were poker degenerate gamblers, right? Alcoholics. They were my buddies. I loved them all. And we used to laugh at each other. And one of them yelled and said to me, Geri, why are you always happy? Stop being so happy. Every single time I see you, you're so happy. And I cracked up laughing. And that's what the world needs. More people who, even when we're sad, you and I, we're happy. We can show it, unless God forbid it's a real tragedy. But, we do our best to overcome it. And that's what the world needs more than ever, especially now.
Yeah.
If
I like to play golf. I like to play golf, and I'm okay at it. And I'll laugh even if I hit a bad shot. And so they'll say, like, you hit it into the woods. I went, but I missed a hole in one by 5 shots. And
okay, so you're going to laugh at my brother. All right, so my brother, my fam, they're all golf players. And they're also poker players, but they're not poker degenerates. They just like to play family dinners. They'll play some poker, and that'll be because we're together and we make fun of each other. But they don't go to casinos to play poker. They're not like me. So one day I said to my brother, how could you people go on a friggin' golf, thing there for hours, sometimes 6 hours, and do this with the thing? How? He says, how could you people sit at a friggin' poker table for 2 days sometimes, look at your cards, bet and fold, look at your card. I says, all right, you win. I said, all right, I got it.
Yeah, like when I work if we're in Vegas and people go, oh, do you gamble? I go, no, I don't gamble anymore, because the last time I gambled, I bet a horse. He went off at 10-1 and he came back at 3:45. I stopped gambling.
And they do that too with the horses. I don't do it. So listen, we've got a few minutes.
Oh, no. Listen, Lotto last week, I missed by 5 numbers. I would have been a millionaire.
Okay, there you go. Wait, we've got about 15 minutes left. But before we get into all that, I have to say something about that as well. A friend of mine, I'll never forget this. Some people are always negative, right? So someone posted, this was many years ago. I knew this was going to be a really bad day when I woke up. And she said, I was missed on I-95 by a car by 1 inch. So I immediately said, I posted right there, no, this was the best day of your life because you were missed by 1 inch on 95. That's how you need to look at that. So we need to be able to see, I don't even want to say, the glass half full, everybody hears that, whatever, but we need to be able to see the outcomes in a different way of our daily events even. Like, put your faith in God, guys. That's where I'm going with this, because even when you think something bad just happened, something worse could have happened and God protected you. Okay?
I wake up every morning and I have to tell you, I have the most beautiful statue on my dresser. Right where I'm in now, Hurricane Sandy, we had 4 feet of water in this room. And my compadre, Tony, my best man when we got married, my best friend, Tony's a contractor. He came the next day with a truck to pick us up and salvage whatever we can. And he brought us to a house while he was going to redo our house. And we stayed there. His mother-in-law had died 3 weeks earlier, so it was her house. So Sally and I stayed there while he did it, and once he did it, we were coming back home. But in his mother-in-law's room was this most beautiful statue of the Mother Mary. And I said, Tone, I never ask you for anything, but I love this statue. Ask your wife if she wants it. If not, could I have it? Because they were going to be cleaning out the house.
Yeah.
Gave me the statue. So that statue has been on my dresser. So every morning I say my prayers to her, once in a while, when I find myself in times of trouble, and there, and it's a beautiful thing. I go for my morning trots 3 miles and I pray, and I stop. I talk to people, I pray. I talk to people, I pray. And that's, it's a great thing. My wife is amazing. You know, we just had a bad year with her dad was very sick. Now he's in assisted living and he's doing pretty good. So we're doing so much better now. It was a rough 9 months, and it's just, you try to stay positive. You got to look at, you know, you got to look at and find that way. God is gonna give you that way to get right back. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Nick, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, whatever it is, your book, how they could get it, everything.
Sure. The book, I Am a First Responder, you could get on Amazon. Just type in I Am a First Responder, and my face, who my kids tell me I look like Super Mario.
Love it.
You could get this on Amazon, and it's like I said, it's a feel-good book. And if you want to get in touch with Nick the Balloonatic, you could either visit my website at www.nicktheballoonatic.com, or you could call my office at 718-441-2440. I do kids parties, I do adult parties, I do school assemblies, I'll do nursing homes. I want to bring joy. It's my job, and we do donate a lot of money to charities, just so you know. I have a pension with New York City Transit where I drove a bus for 34 years, but my wife and I, we try to be generous where it's needed.
So what would you like to say in closing to everyone? I want to give my thank yous to you first off. Thank you again for an incredible day together. I love this, our hour together. I love you. You're amazing. You're incredible. You make people happy. You make people smile. That's what's needed. And you do a great job. And, you know, God is good. God is good. He brought us together, right?
Oh, that's for sure.
God is good. What would you like to say to everyone out there listening who's had a really tough year and a half? What would you like to say to them?
I'll tell you something. Don't watch the news.
Right.
Surround yourself with positive. If you don't want drama, don't respond. If you don't respond, you'll have no drama. And just my circle, I tell people my circle's this big. If you're in my circle, I give you that love, that everything, the positive. If you're negative, I respect you, but you're not getting in that positive circle of mine, because I'm not going to let you bring me down. I'm just not going to let it happen. And, you know, just pray every day. It makes me feel good. And what I like, wake up every morning. I know some of you have to wake up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and you want to press snooze. Try this. Wake up every morning, no matter what, with a smile. Just sit on the side of the bed. Wake up and smile. You know why? You made it another day. You made it another day. Smile. There's people that God is going to call to the, I call it the great depot in the sky. And wake up and just make the best of every second, because the next second is never guaranteed.
Listen, I love you, man. Nick the Balloonatic, everybody. Ruben, would you like to say anything to Nick before we close? Did he make you smile? Ruben, where are you?
I wanted to tell Ruben thank you.
There he is.
Love you, Ruben.
Hey, Nick.
Thank you.
Love you too, Nick. Nick, I just wanted to tell you that, you know, make sure, you know, she gets her discount, because the Georgie Jewel becomes the Georgie Cole, you know.
So
she'll revert back.
Please subscribe to the Geri Petito
Petito
Show
Show
YouTube channel.
Love you, Nick.
Right?
Geri, I'm so proud of you, Geri. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, Nick,
So
next
proud
time
of
you do a show with the cooking show, you got to invite us down. We'll stand on the
That's right.
sideline.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a vegan chef, baby. Invite me there. Get me
That's
on.
right.
We love you, Nick.
I love you.
Ruben,
Thanks,
take
Nick.
us out,
Here we
baby.
go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
And in time this too shall pass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Geri Petito taught the class.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Loves the answer, the greener grass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true,
Is really true. Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound. Safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found. Change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
And in time this too shall pass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Geri Petito taught the class.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
Love's the answer, the greener grass.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.
One day at a time, free at last.